Good evening once again. Welcome to the Echoes of Africanism. And today we are going to discuss about the role of young people addressing political and humanitarian crisis in the Congo DRC, Sudan, and Kenya. So before we proceed, I'll give you a floor to introduce yourself, each one of you, so that we can start our conversation here. Thank you very much. Mr. Brian, you are welcome. Mr. Brahman, you are welcome, sir.
Thank you. You are welcome too.
Mr. Brian, you can introduce us. Like, what are you doing?
Oh.
And who is Brian?
Oh, thank you so much. As you suggested, as you mentioned my name is Brian Omundio Kello. Brian is a teacher by profession. Apart from that, I also run some CBO, where the main target is to empower the youths, the women, and the persons with disability. Brian is a researcher, so much interest about the poverty, climate change, unemployment. And I'm a learner, and I believe in learning process. Every single day that you have opportunity like this, it is an opportunity to network, learn, and come up with a solution. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Brian. Welcome, Mr. Brahman. Sir, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Brian, for this interview. Hello, everybody. This is Abdurrahman Hussein from Sudan. Greeting to all. I hope you all are well and doing health. Very happy to be here today with you to discuss some issues related to youth in Sudan or Kenya or DRC and other countries. I'm executive manager for Mulgosa charity organization. Also, a teaching assistant at the University of Niala Faculty of Chemistry, same chemistry. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Today with me, there is Mr. Norbert who will co-host with me. So, Mr. Norbert, welcome, sir. As we all know that today we are going to discuss about the role of young people in addressing political, humanitarian, and political crisis in Congo, DRC, South Sudan, and Kenya. We are going to discuss this, and because all of us that we know that for the past decades, for countries like South Sudan and the Congo DRC, there's been a lot of political and humanitarian challenges. And recently, we witnessed what happened in Kenya, when in Generation Z, we are trying to influence their voice to be heard by decision makers. All together, that's what brings us today to discuss as young people to bring changes, especially to the matter relating to humanitarian and political challenges facing our continent. So by starting, I will like to know, like, what specific humanitarian and political challenges are youth in Congo DRC, Kenya, and South Sudan are facing? You can start, anyone, either Brian or Mr. Brahman.
Welcome, Mr. Brian. You can start.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ideally, when you mentioned about the Humanitarian and the challenges that we are facing at the young generation, we will agree that Africa, as a totality, these problems are the same because we are developing countries. But what is striking so in DRC, Sudan, and Kenya, they are equally the same. But let us be so specific about Kenya. Kenya, unemployment is very high. Poverty, inequality, gender inequality, corruption, political polarization is also alarming. And trust me, if we don't come together as a youth of the very, very current situation, the current regime, then we are going to be eaten up. So when you talk of humanitarian issues, we can never fail to mention poverty. We can never fail to mention unemployment. We can never fail to mention corruption. We can never fail to mention food insecurity. We can never fail to mention conflict. And conflict comes so big. It is political conflict, border conflict. So it is a dynamic issue that cuts across. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mr. Brian, for highlighting this style. Mr. Brahman, the floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bright, for explaining that. Maybe I agree with you in some point. In our country or another country, Kenya, DRC, and other country in Africa here, we have same issues, specific challenges. In our country in Sudan, we have challenges. We have a challenge, the dictatorial government system. This big challenge is about youth, young people. Also, lack of youth represented in the government, one of challenge. Also, the weak culture of youth in both sides, humanitarian and political issue. This in our country, dictatorial systems, government, and weak culture of youth, young people. Also, lack of youth represented in the government role. This maybe in our country and other country also here in Africa. This big challenge. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Brahman. Thank you, Mr. Brian. All of you, you have shared common challenges young people are facing in your respective countries.
Yeah.
Now, talking without looking for solution, it is not enough. So can you tell us, like, what young people have been doing to address those challenges?
Okay.
Mr. Brian.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Let me take that first. The young people, you are the future. I remember, we can never remain young for the rest of our life. There's a period of time when we'll never be young anymore. Wherever we are right now, people were there some years back. Now, we are energetic, we are visionary, we are talented, we have the skills, we have the knowledge. But now, how do we type this toward the challenges that we are facing? Just like I said, I am the leader of a CBO. What do I do? Remember I said, poverty is a crisis and it is affecting everybody who are of less income. So how are youths coming out to solve this? We are coming up with the community lead initiatives so that we may empower the vulnerable in the community. youths are coming with advocacy and activism so that you may criticize the policies which are only there to dehumanize who we are. We are coming up with entrepreneurial skills hubs to train the youth so that you may no longer be just unemployed. You may come up with an idea which solve the problems within by utilizing the local available resources. Remember, we come from the places where we have all these resources. So it is upon us, the youths, also to come up with the peacemaking initiatives. In as long as we are energetic, in as long as we want a change, but can we also have a very diplomatic way of presenting our issues without being attacked?
Yeah.
The last one is having digital activism. Do we have digital? We have the social media where you can gather together, the X, the Twitter, the LinkedIn, the Facebook. We are using all these kind of platforms which are available so that the voiceless may hear how their issues to be heard. That is where the Kenya right now they are. Thank you so much. That is as per Kenya. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Burhan, for explaining also. Thank you again.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, maybe Mr. outside. I continue for this point to facing humanitarian and political challenge in our country. It is important. It is important to collaborate across a different sector, and there are many steps to facing that. Maybe first of all of these steps, we should establish youth initiative and community networks. This is very important to facing that issues. The aim of these initiatives to coordinate, to organize, and build capacity, as well as enhance the cooperation. This is the first point. Second point, we should work to identify the root causes for problems. This is very important. Our country in Sudan and Kenya or any each country. Identify root causes of problem and challenges, and after that find solve solution for that challenge. This is necessary. Third point, or third steps to facing that spread a culture of peace. Spread a culture of peace and promoting a peaceful coexistence between communities through a different culture, artistics, and activity support. Also, it is very necessary. Second step is important in that case, dissolve hate speech. Dissolve hate speech and eliminate all form of discrimination and racism. This may be 4 point. It is very important to facing that challenge. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Abrahaman. Yet you have to tell me what initiative young people are doing in your country to address that challenges. I want to hear that. What young people are doing in Sudan to address that political and humanitarian challenges.
In Sudan, I don't have more official initiatives regarding to the 20. I have several since 2019 of Sudan. I don't have official initiative in the Sudan regarding to the government, regarding to the issue situation, security situation, government situation, and so. But we collaborate to free use of in civil society, sometime and civil society maybe. This all initiatives right now in Sudan. Civil society, sometime NGOs, you can push young people to facing challenge. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Brahman. But why do you think that there is no such movement? Is there any reasons?
What?
Why young people are not participating to tackling those challenges? What do you think can be the reasons?
According to question number 1, what is specific humanitarian and political challenges are young people in Sudan or other country, Kenya, or dictatorial government systems?
Okay, thank you. I understand. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I understand. Once Mwalimu Nyerere said that you cannot separate ignorance and poverty. And he mentioned that one of the biggest enemies for any country to prosper is ignorance. If people, they don't have sufficient knowledge, they are not allied, they don't have any skills and expertise, it means it's so hard for that country to reach the attained level they want. And when it comes to Africa, we can see that the level of education in most African countries are so minimal. And yet we cannot separate education from humanitarian and the politics. We cannot separate that. All goes together because an aspect of development. So can you tell us, or can we discuss together how education can empower young people in Africa to tackling humanitarian and political challenges, and base your argument on respective countries we are discussing today? How education can empower young people to tackling that? Mr. Brahman, sir, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you for this question. To build any community or any country, it's very important for this. It is very important to build any country and solve. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It is built any community or country today only comes with education. Education gives the young people skills. Young people give young people experience. Give young people problem solution, and so. Regarding we see the purpose participation of youth, it is necessary to provide humanitarian and solve political problem. If we wanna to build any community, it is important for this construction to focus on the young people categories. Why? They are the backbone of any society and progress of any country. That is only come with the youth and qualifying and training them. After that, you can facing that issue or challenge. Education right now, it is very important.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Mr. Brian, can we hear from you?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I've always thought of this. Education is a destroyer.
Yeah.
Education destroyed the barrier between the rich and the poor.
Yeah.
Education destroys the limitations that are there between the less fortunate and the more fortunate. So in that, when you view education in that perspective, then any country that need to develop, then you should build a system with the well-structured education. We have three forms of education. We have two forms. We have formal education and informal education. Formal education is that which we have a well-structured syllabus, so that by the end of that, we have the doctors, we have the we have the political activists who will in turn come up and educate the people who do not have knowledge of anything going on in their country. So when you talk of education role in solving humanitarian challenges, then it is very important for us to look at education as a tool. Out of education, we can teach. The youth can take the role of teaching the people in the community about their rights. Out of education, the youths can take up the initiative of translating the language into the simplest that the common mwananchi, the local person, can understand this thing, so that when you walk, you know what the Constitution is, because the people who learn it at school can now translate it for you into your local language. And this can only be possible if youths, us, we are going to take initiative, the role holistically to that. If alone that, education also gives us critical thinking. You don't just think narrowly, but it's open up your brain to have a wider scope of how can you solve the problem. Education connects you with the people of different regions, so that you can change the ideas. You can change the ideas on how can you solve the issue that are affecting us. Education builds the skills, the leadership skills. It gives you this. Look at this. Suppose now TZ to learn, we are going to be united. We are going to be united. We are going to collaborate. We are going to network. We are going to come up and learn together. So only this is possible when you have education. So to sum it up, education is very important, for it will destroy the barrier between us and the poverty. It will give us the knowledge. It expands our thinking. It will enable you to be a researcher, enable you to communicate the issues to the world, so that they can understand. So education is a tool that every youth should be given for us to change the problems that we are facing, be it politically, socially, or economically. So education is very important. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Abrahama. The discussion is getting hot now.
Thank you, Mr. Brian, for this.
That's nice. That's nice. Education as a tool of change, a tool of bringing impact. Thank you so much. But guys, you know, Africa is large, with diverse political systems, with diverse knowledge and skills, diverse experience, with diverse socio-economic challenges, and so forth. So as both of you have said that, most of the humanitarian and political challenges, let's reckon to they are facing, are somehow similar. So bringing people or bringing young people together, it can be a source of great help for Africa to solve that problem. Because, for example, one person can be in Kenya, another person can be maybe in Tanzania, the other person can be maybe in South Sudan. If all together, they can collaborate together, they can address such issues. So how that can be attained in Africa? Bringing young people together so that they can collaborate together and just looking for solutions for that problem. How that can be achieved?
Okay, for me, in this point, we can solution that about cooperation. Cooperation in this case, it is very necessary thing. We can cooperate to establish associations. We can operate to establish organization. We can establish forums about the whole country in this side. So Africa, Sudan, South Sudan, Sudan, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, and so whatever. This you can also exchange to visitor between this country, use young people between these countries. Exchange for a field visit. Also, you can training together, workshop together to know the basic need of each country. Collaborate in this point. You can get we can get a training shop, workshop to know the specific need about any country in these forums. We can establish an organization between all these countries. We can establish for association. This, in my opinion, to collaborate. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Abraham.
Yeah.
Mr. Brian.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We have so many organizations that are bordering East African. Talk of East African Community, talk of COMESA, talk of COMESA, specifically COMESA.
Yes.
And have they really been of great use unto us? I've always asked myself because of that. Because look at this. We don't have even a common currency, all of us.
Yeah.
Crossing borders, okay, I'm very sure crossing between Kenya and Uganda, it's very easy. Crossing Kenya and Tanzania is very easy. So,
also.
Generally, we talk of borderless, but still there's a lot of suspicion that is between us because of maybe political differences, maybe because of economic development in either country seem to be higher of the other one. But now, that is where we have lived for the past. But where are we going? The saddest part of it, where are we going? Will we continue remaining of what was used to be done previously, which we are seeing the limitation right now affecting us? Now, for us to have, to collaborate, for us to have a very unified and pool our resources as young generation, I really advocate for a youth exchange program. Do you have this youth exchange program? I really love what YALF is bringing right now because it is for young African leaders. But is it really indeed? You see, it is so easy to come up with organization, but implementing it to the fullest become a difficult challenge. So I really prefer that when you have youth exchange program like this, let it be implemented, the objective be achieved without having any political interference. Because the moment you bring in the political interference onto it, then it becomes more of a political move, not of any humanitarian or any social, but become a political move. The risk of having a political move is that it may be hijacked by the people who take advantage of the move when it is almost reaching their achievement. Now, for us, the youth, to achieve our objective, let us have youth exchange program with good intention, with set objectives in order to achieve our ideas. Number two, let us have digital platforms. Digital is becoming a tool, and I've seen it currently in Kenya working. Digital platform is becoming a tool that can be used to liberate any country. Let us have a uniform digital platform where we can air out our problems. Number three, let us have somebody saying, make sure, okay. Now, I would also prefer that let us have let's have our nations giving us the platform, giving us the funds. Because generally, most of the projects in Africa are not being sponsored by Africans themselves. They are being sponsored by developed countries, which are bringing up issues into us. So I really prefer that if going forward, then if we have representative, let our states be ready to sponsor the youth initiatives in Africa without us sourcing funds from somewhere else. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Brian and Abraham. Guys, you really have great solution for Africa to tackle such political and humanitarian challenges. I'm really interested forming an organization, forming a system of exchanging, like having an exchange program, a fellowship across Africa. We don't like to go anywhere, across Africa first. Like young people can get from Kenya to Tanzania just to interact with the others, just try to learn from here. Tanzania can go to, when Tanzania go to Sudan, the same way. Yeah. So this at least can bring solution to the pressing, to that challenge facing Africa. Guys, I really like that idea. I think I was thinking maybe after this meeting we can start thinking about that, how we can form such initiative together, because I already have an idea from you guys. Thank you so much. We have been talking about how education can improve, but the issue is youth-led movement in these countries can effectively mobilize policy changes. We can talk all, but if we forget that also as young people, we have voice, we must be heard. And whenever it happens that we are not heard, we can choose another way of delivering our message. So how this movement are bringing policy changes in Africa, starting from Kenya, because recently we have seen Kenya, Generation Z they are taking the street to bring changes in Kenya. Brian Omondi, you are in Kenya, you witnessed all of that. How this movement have led to bring policy changes in Kenya?
Yeah, I will say this. The movement within the youths can bring a change, but only when it is organized with strict objective. Remember, Kenya is, I can say we have a very good constitution, which allows the protest. is allow peaceful demonstration without any political interference. The mobilization with youths can be a tool for change if it is not hijacked with politicians who want to take advantage of that. Remember this. Politicians are very, very opportunistic. In any case, they see a movement with political ideas, then they tend to associate themselves with that. Youths, you can mobilize yourself using different platforms, using even in education system wherever you are, in learning institutions, universities, there we have youths. They can come up, form groups which can influence the policies. We have the platform. We can use such kind of platforms to mobilize ourselves so that we may be heard. You have different kind of CBOs, community-based organization. You have the NGOs. These can be used by the youth to influence the policies which is affecting them. But keep note of this. It should never be used by politicians. For if they take advantage of that, then it is no longer going to a group of youth to bring a change. Then a caution also to us youths. Some of us, when you see the movement already going, then we go behind the curtain. We are also being given some money, bribed, so that we don't allow the movement to continue. So it can be used to mobilize and make a policy when all leaders are ready and they know the cause of what they want, so that in the process, they cannot be corrupted. They cannot be given money. They cannot be bribed. They cannot be promised things in order to curtail, in order to stop the movement. Yes, possible, but only if you have objective. Avoid politicians. Avoid being corrupt. Avoid being bribed. But it is possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brian. Thank you so much for sharing insight concerning about youth movements in Kenya that happened recently in Kenya. Mr. Brahman, please. The floor is yours.
We
in
maybe
respect to
we
your
have
countries. Yeah.
we have same answering. We enough sufficient by answering by this answering for Mr. Brahma.
Yeah.
Same answering.
The same answering. That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So corruption plus ignorance is what is what is running the system there.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much. At
Thank
least
you
now
so much.
we can understand the really problem towards tackling humanitarian and political challenges in said countries, DRC, Sudan, and Kenya. Guys, we talked a lot about local involvement, local collaboration, local program engagement, local problems and challenges. Guys, we forget about international communities. Do you think that collaboration with international communities can help Africa or can help to bring changes or can help to bring solution to pressing political and humanitarian challenges facing DRC, Sudan, and Kenya? Do you think that?
Welcome, Mr. Warhab.
Can I repeat?
Again, can I replace this question? Repeat this question.
Yeah, you can.
Summarize for these questions.
Okay, thank you. I'm talking about. Okay, thank you. I'm talking about international collaboration to bring solution to that problem. Yes.
Mm. International collaboration.
Yes.
It's necessary.
How then?
About cooperation.
Can you say this?
Yeah, we can setting action plans and programs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
About that.
Thank you for
now.
Thank you for what I caught is like setting programs and plans.
I think
that's a big idea also. Mr. Brian.
Yeah. When you talk of international,
yeah.
I want us to take us back to the so many revolutions that has taken place.
Yeah.
Really, international collaboration can improve humanitarian efforts.
Yeah.
I didn't want to use the word funding because generally, even if currently I'm also running organization which is funded by USAID. It is funded by USAID. So when you talk of international organization collaboration, yes, it can help to eradicating some of these issues. Like my option specifically, we are aiming at reducing the rate of poverty level. So it can help us by giving us the funds and resources. It can also give us a platform of capacity building, the mentorship that we have. But it is very important for us also to keep note of this. Policy influence, political interference. Because if these donors come into Kenya, they come up with certain policies that may not be according to our culture, according to our customs, according to our tradition. So it is very important in as much as, yes, they can bring a change, but they can also have a negative influence towards the culture, the upbringing, the background of any state. I'm not, look at this, all about LGBTQ, look at that, the gay, all these kind of things. We were never brought up in such kind of system. We were never brought up in where you love a guy like me loving a guy. No, we were brought up to love a woman. But in a case where there is some interference in terms of what you are practicing. So in as much as they can bring a positive, and we are seeing the positive part of it, in terms of the funding to help us reduce the climate change. In fact, so many policies and so many activities are being facilitated by this international organization, which are very helpful in our humanitarian issues affecting us. But take precautions, lest we also adopt and be assimilated by the cultures and customs which are against our traditions. So, yes, but be cautious enough. Don't lose the value of your nation. Don't lose the value of your nation at the expense of being funded. Another one, we also have some political interference. Maybe initially we used to have, when the Kenya was getting independence, we have what you call capitalism and socialism. So if you are capitalism, then you could be funded by USA. But if you are socialism, you could be funded by Russia. So by the long run, you realize there's a lot of political conflict in terms of ideological differences brought out by the sponsors who want their ideas to be spread. Are you for capitalism? Then they will find you to spread capitalism. Are you for socialism? Then ujamaa, then they will find you. But at the end, you realize there's a lot of conflict even in a country, civic wars, political conflict, border conflict, resources, yes. So be positive, youth. Let us be positive and be mentally upright, lest we be absorbed into things that you don't understand. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you so much, Abrahaman.
I can add something for after this. We can holding a regular course to exchange ideas and know the current situation between international organization and community-based and civil society, and so. Also, we can relating to reports to determine the basic needs of the community. This is for all.
Thank you, Mr. Abrahaman. Thanks for highlighting that. It's such a nice idea, a point to note down. Guy, thanks for having me today. We have come to the end of our podcast today. I'm really interested to keep having discussion with you. I have a lot of things to discuss together concerning about humanitarian political challenges facing DRC, Sudan, and Kenya. I think that I really need more discussion on that. So guys, for today, you haven't finished, for sure. I'm planning to host, as I can say, maybe the second edition of this, not episode, a second edition of this topic, where we come and discuss it again. We have a lot to discuss here.
Okay.
And we have at least bringing some new concept and new ideas, which are really interesting. And if that can be implemented, at least can help us to tackle the humanitarian political challenges facing Congo, DRC, Sudan, and Kenya. Guys, thank you so much for your time and attention. Next time, please be ready whenever I contact you to come again to discuss the same topics. Or if we can get back also to discuss this topic. You never know, because it's a really interesting idea. Really need solution to humanitarian issues facing, much challenges facing Kenya, DRC, and Sudan. People are dying, people are being displaced, there are a lot of migrations, poverty to the extreme level, hunger and famine. So guys, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. This first time joining with you. I'm very happy. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure to join you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Barham, for the experience. You have more experience for youth issue. I will see you with me, inshallah.
Inshallah, Sheikh. Thank you so much for time. Brani, asante sana. Abramani, asante sana. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Asante sana. Bye.
Asante, bye.
Asante sana.
Florian.
Yes, sir.
Florian.
Yeah.
Bora asante, ila sijajua jinsi kumaliza.
Yeah. Stop recording, yes.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't know. I was unable to. I don't know why I can stop recording.
If you press the screen, you will find a mute stop, and there is a record tab at the right end. Have you seen?
No. Oh,
The
should
fourth tab
but
after chat.
I'm using mobile phone. I think I should leave the meeting, so maybe it can
Okay, thank
save
you.
itself
Thank you.
automatically. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Thanks for having you on, Obed.